From the News Channel 5 Network, this is Countdown to Friday, sponsored by Xander Insurance.
Ladies and, of course, gentlemen, welcome into this fabulous edition of the Xander Insurance Countdown to Friday. That's Mo P.I. and B-Hop. Thank you, and lock in for the next 60 minutes because we got you covered in high school football action. I'll tell you what, we've got recap and review to get into. We've got B-Hop and Nolan to go. This week, we traveled down to Thompson Station and talked with Scott Blade from Independence High School, had a conversation with him, and we have a special treat for you this week. Normally, we take Prep Rewind on the road and catch up with some news and noteworthy athlete and talk about his high school experiences. Well, guess what? We had that athlete come to us. Chris Sanders, former Tennessee Titan, was cool enough, tippy toes, as we like to call him. He was cool enough to give us some of his time, and he'll be shopping in the program. What a unique situation with this guy. This guy obviously is a tremendous collegiate athlete. Obviously,
two-sport guy.
Yeah, two-sport guy. Still holds records at Ohio State, and he'll tell you about that, trust me, in a few minutes. Obviously, just a key piece to us transitioning from Houston to Tennessee. But more importantly, he's doing high school stuff right now. He's one of the coaches at NBA, as a matter of fact.
And I tell you what, I really admire, and I've said this before, guys who decide after they've had the illustrious careers like a Chris Sanders has had, decides to dive back in with some of those knuckleheads at the high school level.
You better be careful. Hey. You talking about my kid?
I'm talking about mine.
Oh, okay. Well, he must know your kid then. Yeah. Either way, so let's start one of our segments that we like to get into. First off, it's recap and review, telling you what you missed from maybe last Friday or what we noticed from last Friday, and of course we'll get you ready for the upcoming week's activity. So we'll start our journey in Brentwood Academy at NBA. This was under the lights of ESPN. How cool is that, huh?
Well, it wasn't all under the lights of ESPN, but it was under the lights of a local TV station, but one of the plays wound up on ESPN.
That's what it was. I knew ESPN had some sort of tie into this. Yeah, Tell me about that play.
That play, I'm not sure that we want to talk too much about it because we got Chris Sanders coming on.
Why, is he going to fight you about it or something?
Fight you.
No. But they won, didn't they?
They did win.
Okay,
despite
so you
this
won't fight
play.
us.
Yeah. No, Brentwood Academy had a big heave at the end of the half. It had a Hail Mary that they actually completed.
I saw that. How about the presence of mind for that cat to tap it into the end zone?
Cameron Johnson took Jeremiah Oatsvall's pass and flipped it forward, and Lawrence Segree caught it by himself in the end zone for a touchdown to tie the game up at halftime, 17-17.
57 yards. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That was like that. That was like the Vols pass over Georgia, kind of, sort of. Wasn't
I think it was longer, actually.
Well, the guy was already. Juwan Jennings was already in the end zone. Wasn't he? Okay.
Yeah, and so like you said, the scrum was kind of at about the 3 to the 5, and Cameron was able to get a hand on it and flip it forward, which they were concerned whether or not it was legal or not, but it turns out it was. Obviously.
Absolutely. Hey, great job by them. How about keeping it in Williamson County? Franklin hosted Wilson Central rather. I mean, this was a back and forth for a while. If you talk about these two teams combined for 77 points in the entire game. And if my notes serve me correctly, 56 points, 565 yards of offense between these two teams in the first half.
Yeah, 28-28 at halftime. They were going back and forth, and that was kind of Donnie Webb's concern that they never could get Wilson Central slowed down quite like he wanted to, but they got a score inside the final 2 minutes to win it 42-35. So big win for Franklin.
Shoot, the Wildcats couldn't keep the Reps slowed down either, so what's the big deal? Point, right?
I'll let you and Donnie talk about that one.
Sorry, Donnie, the truth be told. I mean, 77 points combined. Come on. Where's the defense? I don't know. Nobody saw it. Anyway, Stratford at Good Pasture. Now, how about this? This team is transitioning from Region 5 3A. They're now going to join Division 2
next year.
2017 through 2020. So is that going to be better for them, that program, moving to that division? Is that a smaller program, a smaller division, or a bigger division? I don't know.
I think that's kind of a work in progress. You've got a few private schools that are going to be making that transition from Division I to Division II because they've made some changes in financial aid requirements or allowances, that kind of thing. And so Good Pasture has opted to go to Division II. So has Lipscomb Academy. The announcement just came down today that they're going to be going to D2 as well. So you've got a few schools that have traditionally competed in Division I with the public schools, and now they will have a little bit less requirements or guidelines as far as what they can do financial aid wise.
Gotcha. So if I'm reading this correctly, the Spartans basically are undefeated by 1 point
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, actually, if you look at the past 2 weeks, it's 2 points.
2 points,
right?
yeah. They beat CPA 7-6 2 weeks ago. They beat Goodpasture 15-14 this past week, and it was 14-8 late. They drove the field. Terrell Carter scores to tie the game. Muhammad Madej hits an extra point to win it 15-14. So a couple of big wins for the Spartans here of late.
So we've got some pretty good games that are coming up this weekend. Let's start with Oakland at Riverdale. The Battle of the Borough. Is this going to be an exceptional contest or what? Is there one team that's a lot better than the other one? I hate when it happens like that.
You know, Oakland is undefeated. They're number 2 in the state in 6A.
Okay.
We're going to get into the top 10 here in a bit. And they've scored at least 38 points in every game, so they've obviously been rolling. Riverdale's won their last 3 games. Now they're 4-3 overall, 3-1 in that Region 2 6A. So, and I think anytime these two get together, it's typically, you know, a lot of excitement, a lot of intensity, but Oakland has won the last 4 games in this series, so Riverdale's kind of trying to get that turned around at home.
How about this? I taught Mo something in high school. He didn't know that Tom Nolan, I'm sure he knew that Tom Nolan was retiring, but he didn't know that they were changing the field name at Tomahawk Stadium to Nolan Field.
And a great honor for a great guy. You know, everybody over there loves Tom Nolan.
Yeah.
And actually, when we were down there to visit with Will Kreisky and Kelly Holcomb, I got to see him for a second. And he's excited about stepping away. I don't know that they're necessarily excited about seeing him step away because he's pretty well beloved over there.
Absolutely. Tea time. Exactly. How about Brentwood at Centennial? The battle, is that the Battle of Brentwood? If this got the Battle of the Borough, is that the Battle of Brentwood?
Maybe the Battle of Cool Springs. I don't know.
Okay, that's right, the Battle of Cool Springs.
Yeah. Brentwood coming in 3-1 overall. I'm sorry, 3-1 in Region 7-5A, 4-3 overall. Centennial 6-1, 4-0, leading that region right now. This is a big game for both those teams. Brentwood has Henry County the following week. Centennial has Henry County the week after that. So a lot of work to do for both those teams. Quiet as it's kept. Centennial is 18-3 the last season and a half. All 3 of those losses are to Independents.
Hey, since Mookie Betts' season is over, you think he'll be in the house for Ravenwood at Overton?
He might be. I'm not sure how quickly he's planning to come back, but
Just do you check out physical, man? Come on back and watch the game.
There you go. I'm sure they'd love to have him.
I bet they would.
It should be a good ball game. Big Region 3 6A game. Ravenwood 4-3, 3-1 in the region. Overton's 4-3, 3-2. Ravenwood's got the offensive lineman Patrick Lighton, who's committed to Duke, so they've been getting some things done offensively. They scored they beat Lebanon 49-3 last week, beat McGavock 30-17 the week before. Like to throw it around with McCain Marrow back there.
Nice. Well, we're off and running right here on the Xander Insurance Countdown to Friday. When we come back, it's B-Hop and Mo on the go. Our stop, Independence High School. We visit with Scott Blade when we come back. Stick around.